Well, let's go live and see what happens. Good evening, everybody. Terry, BR, are you guys still here? Terry, BR, are you guys still here? And get rid of that echo. Had to wait for that icon to come up before I could kill it, and I did. But I think you guys are probably wandered off somewhere. Left me here all alone in the wilderness. But I think it did some good today. I like this little Higgins Lake round. After I did a little adjustment to the mold. Austrian Stacker, hello. BR. I will, just for you, buddy. How's everybody doing this evening? I don't really have a whole lot going on, but I enjoy doing these live streams, and I got different cameras and stuff I can play with. I even went on Amazon today and ordered an adjustable stand for my magnifying camera, so I can run it up and down and do a little bit better work with it. And I mean, right now it's sitting on top of a gallon jar full of cannabis. Cyclops, how you doing, brother? I am going to put this link in the chat, and actually in the real chat, not in the StreamYards one. But y'all are welcome to come up if you would like. But do not feel any obligation whatsoever. But like I said, you're welcome to come up. But today, this one I had from pouring a few days ago. A lot of pock marks in it, and I didn't really like the way the 3/9 fine came out on it. And again, a lot of pock marks on it. But I sanded down the mold a little bit and removed the raised 3/9 fine and just stamped it on there. Okay, Titus, how are you, brother? Austrian, it's dinner time here, actually, but good morning. But it come out good. But I just pulled it out of the polisher a little bit ago, so I'm going to tone it kind of like this one is, where the incuse is all toned up. And I'd like to get good at it where I could make the lake blue and the state green. But that's work to be learned down the road. Nova Star, that's always a very, well, let's say, popular ambition. Well, you got enough seagulls over in your area, you should. Grandpa Tim, hello. I appreciate that. I really do. Algorithm food, as some would say. Although, I'm not really trying to. I don't think so. I think it looks good. It'll look even better when I tone it. And I think I can sell them up at the store as souvenirs. I mean, all the millionaires want something to remember their trip to Higgins Lake. Val, how are you doing, my friend? The big winner? Your package is in the mail. But I don't think I'm going to use these rounds as the next teaser for my next vertical sale because I don't want to limit how many of these I make. I'll have to get with Charles and come up with some simple idea. But I've got a couple of ideas in my head. I just don't know what he is capable of printing. Oh, nice. Good job, Grandpa. Hey, Val, I appreciate everything that you've done over the years. And I did mention to Ida this afternoon that if she needs help with that auction, that she might be able to knock on your door. So if you get an email from her down the road, it's my fault. But I did label this stream bar hopping. I got a bunch of my bars out and wanted to talk about, see what kind of bars y'all have as your favorites. I should do that at the marina, BR. People come in and stump, they might want to buy a silverfish, huh? John Pierce, hello. Well, Charles, we'll talk about it. I've got a couple of ideas, but what do you think about? Oh, I got to change cameras. Excuse me. I'm putting stuff in front of the other camera and asking you about it, and the camera's not even up and running. There we go. But what do you think about bars like this? It's Jaeger, and it's, I guess, premium, well-known stuff. Or what about these 1 ounce bars? I kind of like these 1 ounce bars. I've got several different ones. I've got a Constitution one, but I've got a double up on one of these. Where is it? I mean, I gave that one to my boy. I don't think I did. Oh, there it is. That's what I keep in my wallet. Den of Thieves. It's a not federal, no reserves. I like that bar. I've got a few other bars. And man, I like them. You can do some nice artwork on them. And you got a lot of surface space and all that. But they're kind of expensive. And you can get rounds cheaper, I think, generally. Now that's cool, John. I like that idea. Now, it's a round, but technically it's a bar. If it's not a coin, it's a bar. I don't understand that logic. Or Just a Kit Kat poured. I bought that probably 3 years ago. Paid too much money for it, but oh well. I got a few things like that. Little coffin. Don't really buy that stuff anymore. I can pour it if I want it. But here's a 5-ounce bar that I got, same era of my collections. But this is something I picked up really, I think about a year ago, just because I always wanted one. And there was a dip at the time, but it's a 10-ounce Tombstone. I think those things are cool, and because they're all hammered individually, they're, each one's a little bit different. But then let's see, I've got a couple other 5-ounces in here. Just another commercial, blah, nothing, 5-ouncer. And another Jaeger. Cast, not poured. Actually, that other 5-ouncer is a cast as well. But then you get into some of these things that are considered maybe a little bit more desirable. And I got this thing a couple of years ago when there was a dip, and they put these things back on and got it at spot. By the time it was delivered to me, I'd made $100 on it, but then they'd gone back down. 10-ounce Atmex bar that I won. But then there's some that I bought here and there. I'm not sure where this 5-ouncer came from. Mike Wolf, hello. Or these next few are from different mints. They're well-known mints and all of that stuff. And they're cool. But I pay premiums for these things. Asahi's. Nice bars. Nothing special. Pay premiums for them. Initially bought 2 of these things because there's no lizard on it. But I gave one of them to my son. But again, I paid premiums for it. Well, around the beginning of this year, I said, you know what? I don't really care. It doesn't change me. It doesn't make it any better, anything like that. I said, I went out and I bought an ingot mold. And I have been pouring 10-ounce ingots. I got a pile of these suckers. Show you. They're nothing special. But when I buy shot, I go together with a bunch of different people. And we buy a whole bunch of it. And we get it for $1.50 over spot. And they're not pretty. It's not the latest fad. It's freaking silver. And that's all it is. And they're decent looking ingots and all of that. They tone them up, stamp them, blah, 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 whatever. But they're cheap. And what if I need to make some pours? somebody comes to me and says, I want to order one of those 10-ounce pours like what Val just won. Well, I wouldn't want to go and melt that to make a pour. But is it going to hurt me? Not even a little bit to melt one of them. That's a good price on them. But the prices are pretty good right now. But I'm still cheaper. And I mean, you gotta be happy with what it is you're stacking. If you gotta have graded Morgans, you gotta have graded Morgans. But you're going to wind up with less ounces in the end. And that's what I'm looking at my silver isn't something that I sit around and look at and contemplate or anything like that. It is a utility tool when the banks fail. And I think pretty much all of us are in agreement that they will. Now, we might argue from now until the end of the earth when things are going to fail because we all have different opinions on stuff. But we all know that the money systems aren't safe. That's why we stack. Some of us are a little bit more choosy about what it is we do stack. And it's all well and good. But if you're counting your pennies to get by, cheapest way to do it might be to get into pouring a little bit. I am not a great artist, I have a one-trick pony. I can do vertical pours, but it's just because I know a trick. And other things they're cool, but that's the one thing that I do that nobody else does. But still, there isn't that much demand for it. A little bit, not here and there. And hey, Jessica, how are you? I'm just sitting here talking about bars. What kind of beer you like to drink? Me, cold and wet. But I do like cold and wet beer. But there are some that I'm not real fond of. I don't like the watery stuff. Give me a Bell's Two Heart. Charles, I don't know what rats you're talking about. Oh, rays. Yeah, the stingrays are nice. Oh, the pink one isn't here anymore. Silver Bits. Hello, how are you? Dimebag, how you doing? Or got melted, which is really the case. The penguin has taken new form and is out in the mail heading to people as Mario rounds right now. But I don't have a whole lot going on. I just thought I'd come on. Probably don't want to stay on here real long. I think that Angel and Keith have their auction on Wednesday nights, don't they? Or are they even going to, if they don't have the thing with their internet solved at home, maybe they can't do it. Oh, the penguin was cool, but I could do another one when I've got more silver. If somebody orders a penguin, I can always melt an ingot. Yeah, John, that's what I'm thinking. I know Angel was doing something to get online this morning that sounded a little shaky. I don't know if they can actually do their auction with that setup. Okay. Well, then I'm not stepping on them at all. And that's good. Maybe we'll actually get some people to come in here. But anybody that wants to come up, I didn't pen that when I put it in there. I will do it again. But if anybody wants to come up, you are more than welcome. Yeah, it's kind of the feeling I got from what I heard this morning. Hey, well, she stopped in and gave me a thumbs up before the thing ever went live. I kind of like her. I like her way of being mean. It's kind of fun. CCT, how are you doing, brother? Good to see you. Got a couple friends from the other side of the pond on here with us. Silver Bits, CCT is the gentleman who built that silver slide I gave you. Anybody want to come up? It sure is easier when you got somebody to bounce words off of. But do y'all stack bars? Do you like bars? What kind of bars do you like? And 1 ounce bars might be a little bit easier when you're bartering. But if you're going to buy a car, you might want a few 10 ounce bars. CCT, thank you for stopping in, my friend. I appreciate you. You have a good evening. Don't work too hard tomorrow. Today's my 5th day in a row off. I've got to go back tomorrow. And tomorrow is stuck day for the holiday weekend. Ugh. Yeah, I'm kind of with you there on the 10 ounce bars, PR. And they will be big ticket items, but they're not huge. It's, I might have to wear my suspenders a little tighter, but I could put 2 of these in my pockets and my pants wouldn't fall down. And it's a lot of money. So, yeah. But if you're going out to dinner at White Castle's, you better have some dimes. That too. Look at the way that's 80 ounces right there on that turntable. And hardly taking up any space at all. And it's a whole lot easier to pour 10-ounce ingots than it is a bunch of 1-ounce rounds. But I've got, I don't have a Uranus round here, but I've got almost a full tube of Uranus rounds that I poured for myself. Now, I mean, sure, somebody could come up to me and say, hey, I want a Uranus round. And, well, I'd pull one out and let it go. But I don't, when the tube's full, there's 20 ounces of those in a tube. And that's really, I want to know how much weight I've got in a tube. That's what I want to know. We got 7 people in here. And I'm kind of running out of material. I can keep my live stream short like a recorded video. But the nice thing about it is I can switch cameras around and stuff. But let me show off this round that I made today. I do like how it came out. Charles, what I did is I sanded down the 3/9 FS and then stamped it. There was a little bit of a blip still there, but when I stamped it, you can't even see that anymore. But I haven't had a chance to tone it yet, but I'm going to tone the incused parts. I wished I was talented enough with that to make the lake blue and the state green, but someday I'll learn that stuff. But this is not going to go with the next vertical pour deal that I put across because I don't want to put a limit on these. I think these will sell well at the store as souvenirs. And they're 25 grams. So, I mean, if I sell them at $50 a pop, I'm making a good profit on them. And I can think of 100 people that come into the store that might like to have them. So these might be my focus for a little bit. But at any rate, losing steam here, guys. So I think that we'll bring it to an end, even if Coin Crew isn't coming up at 7. I'm sure somebody else is. But I give it a half an hour. Showed off what I've got going. Charles, I'll send you an email with my ideas on it and see what you think. And I'll talk at you all later. Everyone have a blessed night and a wonderful tomorrow. See you soon.